When I was even younger than I'm now, probably like 7 years old, one of my favorite activities that I would do with my grandma during the holidays was to make paper boats and then attach a piece of string to them, and then we would head over to like the local river that was flowing through our village, and then we would place the paper boats on the river and we would control them using the string. It was the most bonding activity that I ever had with her. And I remember there was this one time when I accidentally let go of the paper boat and I got really scared. I got really sad that I will never see it again. But my grandmother told me that, oh, don't worry, it will most likely just end up in some kind of an ocean in the future. Because, that river that was going through our village, it will eventually connect to a larger river that would eventually lead it to even a larger river, and eventually it would end up somewhere in Black or Mediterranean Sea. Because I'm from Slovakia, and eventually, inevitably, all of the rivers, well, most of them, end up leading to Danube, which ends up in the Black Sea. So I just thought to myself, wow, my cool little paper boat would end up all the way over there? Nice. It was going on a adventure, and I was really happy that it was actually gone. I was happy that it was gonna see more of than just this river in our village, that it's gonna see more of the world, more of the beyond. And recently, I reminded my grandma of the experience, and we both laughed about it. And then we ended up talking about other life experiences from her life. She told me a little bit about my grandfather and other memories that she had of me when I was even younger than 7 that I don't even remember happening in the first place. Man, is she a nice woman? Or would I say, was a nice woman? Because she died almost 7 years ago. It didn't happen recently. Well, it happened recently in my mind. You see, for most of my life, and especially during COVID, I just couldn't get over grief. I just could not stop thinking about my dead relatives and the fact that I, with most of them, didn't have enough time to enjoy them to the fullest, that I didn't have the time to ask them deep life questions, that I didn't have the time to ask them about their life experiences, to get to know them more. I just constantly miss them. And those memories that I did have, of, for example, us making the paper boats, that part was true, by the way. It was all true until the part that we laughed about it recently. I used to meditate back on those memories constantly, like every single day after I was like 12 years old. Because when I turned 12, man, did I really feel the lack of old people in my life. And so I was making these like what if scenarios in my head. Like, what if this family relative lived longer? What life stories would I like to talk to him about? What value could he provide me? Would he be able to help me with my homework on our family tree, for example? But the main catalyst for this was the COVID pandemic, and especially the second wave, which was in winter of 2020. They were constantly talking about how so many people are dying to COVID and how the retired people in our country are constantly dying because they cannot afford treatment and they just cannot get over it. And when you don't go outside, when you don't get new life experiences that you think about, when you don't have something that you can focus on, like progress in anything, your mind, it starts to meditate back on the negative thoughts. And that's where shit hits the fan. The reason why self improvement helps you so much with your mental health is because it helps you get rid of the negative thoughts. by actually making you busy productively, like making you work on something that will bring you financial, location, and time freedom. It makes you exercise way more consistently so that you finally get the 10 out of 10 godly physique that you've been dreaming of. It literally gets you out there and it makes you speak to random people on the street. It makes you cold approach people just like that. It makes you level up your social intelligence even higher so that you can attract the higher quality woman. And so, when you're doing these productive activities in your daily life, of course it's hard to think about that random incident that happened 8 years ago at your school where you farted and everyone laughed about it in your class. And I know that this will sound a little bit harsh, but think about it. The last time that you were reading a book, did you think about your dead relatives? Did you think about the grief that you felt for them? Of course you didn't. And by the way, yes, I know that we shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but right now when I'm referring to dead people, I mean like the good old people that died in your life, that you really liked and that most of your family like to spend time around. Like, for example, the actual good people who most likely did something with their lives. Like, they didn't have to be that successful, like they were making $10,000 per month. They didn't have to be that successful. If they basically made you feel nice, if they gave you some kind of value in form of life experiences, knowledge, or just positive energy in general, and they never abused you by, drinking alcohol, taking drugs, going out partying, smoking, and then, whilst they were high and they weren't thinking as much, they were taking their anger on you. If they never done those kinds of things, and if they were genuinely good people, who just weren't successful in their lives or who were successful, then those are the people that we are talking about in this video. And so, you must think to yourself, they never done anything wrong. So, in the afterlife, nothing bad awaits them. They are at peace right now. And you're the one who is basically like struggling. We as humans, we think about death as something horrible that awaits all of us. It's the end of our lives. But I think that we should look forward to it and take the challenge to become the best version of ourselves whilst we're still down here. Meaning that we should be good towards everyone, but also it depends on their personality. If they're a dickhead, then of course, you shouldn't give them like your private phone number and constantly give them coaching advice on anything that they need. And of course, you shouldn't keep them in your inner circle, but just smile at them. Of course, you need to help the economy by making a powerful online business that will bring you financial, location, and time freedom, but also to the entire family that you care about. But also, you need to help yourself. You need to work on your mental health and your physical health so that you can complement yourself in the future, so that you can be proud and recognize and be grateful for the progress that you've been grinding hard on for months, even years on end. If you do all of these things and you're a genuinely nice person, like you don't have to be that nice that you constantly think about helping everyone. All you need to do is just never do horrible acts such as murder, rape, and stuff like that, and you're going to heaven. Your good deeds are always gonna be repaid. It's just that they will never be repaid instantly. Like, for example, when you open the YouTube app and you get the instant dopamine hit, it won't be like that. For example, when you help someone, it will repay, I don't know, months, possibly even years down the line. But what matters the most is that you gave away that positive energy, and that positive energy will 100% always come back to you. So you have that certainty of positive karma. And so, if that person that you're thinking about right now, that you're grieving over, that you wished that you spent more time with them. Bro, you have literally nothing to fear about. I just realized how huge this is. If they never committed horrible acts in their lives, and if you're a man on self improvement that actually cares about his health, wealth, and relationships, that wants to benefit everyone, you're gonna meet in heaven after this life. So you're gonna meet them eventually. But when you do eventually meet them, do you want to make them disappointed, proud, or extremely proud? If you make them disappointed because you spend the rest of your life grieving over the losses that you had over your lifetime, just basically crying your eyes out that you never got to spend more time with them, then you're just a little bitch, honestly. However, if you recognize that they're at peace and that people come and go in this life, it is a cycle. The old comes away and the new always arrives. It's just like that in practically anything. When you recognize this cycle as something natural that is occurring in our lives, and when you realize that they're waiting for you in heaven, bro, I see infinite possibilities of making them proud. You basically have an entire lifetime that you can dedicate to becoming the best version of yourself. And let's say, and God forbid, I'm not trying to play something on you or make you cursed. I'm just saying that by any chance, I'm not trying to attract anything bad into your life, but let's say that you do eventually take my advice and you get onto self improvement and you start the online business. Like, for example, you teach people how to play the violin, which is something really beautiful, in my opinion. You start to cold approach girls, but to no avail. But what matters the most is that you're leveling up your social intelligence, so good on you. You start to wake up at you're not really getting 5 a.m., but 6 a.m. is decent for now. And you're meditating, you're exercising, you're gratitude journaling, your regular journaling to boost your mind and your productivity. And wouldn't you know, 7 months in, you get hit by a car and you get sent to heaven. Do you really think that they will be disappointed at you? That you never became the best version of yourself? No, it wasn't you that ended yourself. It was the universe that ended you. It was the plan that God made for you. And so you will get the same praise if you just desire to become the best version of yourself. If you actually take the effort to implement not just my advice, but advice from books and other self improvement channels that will bring you closer to your goals in life. If you die trying, then that sounds way cooler than just if you just never tried and you stayed like a little bitch crying in the corner, just basically indulging in sorrow for the rest of your life. And that will make them proud like no tomorrow. They will literally be the most happiest people that you will ever see them. And if you do believe in the afterlife or not, that is your thing. This is just my way of getting myself pumped and how I overcame grief and how I motivated myself to stay consistent on self improvement. And I'm the happiest that I've ever been in my entire life. The way that you overcome grief is to recognize that you will eventually meet them in the future. And so you have the opportunity to make them proud. You will not see them for the rest of this life, but you will see them constantly for the rest of your future life when you die physically. So you better make your stay in the second life as good as possible, but desiring to actually become the best version of yourself is enough. But since nothing bad is going to happen to you, you're not gonna get hit by the car, remember. You have the burden to become the best version of yourself, which I know that you can become. Everyone has the potential to bloom into the prettiest flower that they were destined to become. It is just that 99% of people never take action. But we are men on self improvement. And we want to make the past generation, so our ancestors, the current generation, so our parents, our future wives, and the future generations, our children, our grandchildren, our great great grandchildren. We want to make all of them proud and remember us for the progress that we've done. We want to make them proud for the wealth, for the financial, location, and time freedom, and for the warmth that we've given to them as dads, as grandparents, as great grandfathers. You understand? So, will you let grief hold you back from becoming the best version of yourself? And would you let it inspire you? And ask yourself also this: what would they want you to become? Hmm? They would want you to become happier, to become more fulfilled, to improve your mental health, to become good at self improvement, to be able to provide financially, locationally, and timely. And as a last tip for making this far into the video, you need to recognize that everyone has a purpose in God's plan. Nothing that you see in front of you is a coincidence. This is all part of a plan. And so, if they died young, then I'm not trying to sound harsh on it or anything, but they fulfill their role, their mission, their purpose in this life. And now they can rest easy in the afterlife. And so you need to fulfill your mission now so that when you're on your deathbed, you can be proud on the life that you've lived. And you can tell them all about it when you do eventually meet them in the afterlife. And if you want to learn more about regret and how I overcame it, alongside with other powerful mindset shifts that will prepare you for success in anything because they will mend your mental health, then keep your eyes peeled. Something huge is coming soon. But if you want to be part of a community full of like minded men who share the same values as you, the same likes and dislikes, the same goals as you, who are becoming the best version of themselves every single day, and who are working tirelessly to overtake you in the race of men, but at the same time, they will be like your blood bonded brothers that will take care of you and give you advice whenever you need it, then you can become a part of our Discord clan in the description. We like men like you because you watch videos like these and you're willing to take action. You have way more potential than you think you have, and I know that you'll find your place in there. So please leave the 99% of people behind that are constantly making you stressed out, that are not giving you any hope in life, like, oh, you will never see your grandfather, and instead, who will give you healthy advice, like I'm giving you in my videos, that will make you okay with stuff like grief. They are all waiting for you. So please join us on the path to greatness. But besides that, you can like the video, you can subscribe if you like, join the email list in the description and get yourself a free ebook about mindfulness. Comment on which part of the video you liked the most and which part of the video you will implement into your daily life. Don't forget to join the clan, you're still invited, and become a part of the family. Keep your eyes peeled. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you